1, which used to be known as Highway 666. That's the U.S. highway. It's also Arizona Highway 61. And it is now County Road 7014, the best gate here in Witch Wells. You don't have to get out and open the gates. A cattle guard, you got a fence. They've been maintaining the road, lots of rock in it. And we're selling you that lot right there that has 2 long easements, and the easement right here off the gate to get into your property. Lot 122, 40-acre lot. There's the official survey marker for lot 121 and the border of 122. That's lot 122. Road runs light between the 2 lots. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our great honor and pleasure to bring this lot to you right now. One of the best lots we've had for years and years. You actually have 1/10 of a mile frontage on this beautiful paved highway right between Sanders, Chandler, the cutoff to Zuni just a couple miles away, St. John's 25 miles away, 528 feet plus on the highway. You also have the best gate, cattle guard, into your property of anywhere on here. You don't have to get out, open a gate, shut a gate, don't have to worry about the cattle getting out here. And the county has gave it a number 7014. And we put this road in here 10 years ago. Yeah, now County Road 7014. We're going to go to the other end of the property. We got a car coming, another van slowing down like, what are these people doing? Well, they see the auction signs and they'll know, hi. Minivan full of people. And now since you're looking down the highway, there's the RV campgrounds where that tower is right there. That tower has television on it, internet, telephone, all that stuff. And that, I think, is a GTE or G-Mobile net, or that tower. Verizon's got a tower right over here too. Good story behind all that, but great internet connection throughout here. So next we're going to go up here to the other end of the lot, and then you'll be able to physically see how far it is back to the van. We'll climb over the fence. We'll film a little bit of that area. We'll come back. We'll fly the drone, show you kind of the area right here, and then we'll go back. Again, this is 40 acres, lot 122, over 528 feet on the highway. Your land doesn't start to where the fence is. You have access to this gate, takes you right to your property right there. There's also a road on the back. These lots are over 1/2 mile long, 6/10 of a mile. And this being 122 is going to be 3,174.99 feet. Yeah. So basically 3,750 feet, 6/10 of a mile. So let's go up here. Enough talking. Let's show you around. And try to get a good zoom on Ron's tower, which is only a mile or so up here. And you're also very easy to find his property. Mile marker 342. All right, folks, just about to the halfway mark on lot 122, which, well, I believe it's unit number 6. The mile marker 342 is almost exactly halfway in the middle of your lot. This lot's going to gain a little bit of altitude when we go 6/10 of a mile back. Most of the water is going to drain this way. There's a big culvert that goes under the highway here, and the water, if it keeps going, eventually goes down to hard scrabble wash, which is another 4 or 5 miles down there. We got more traffic coming, so we better get off the highway. But there's your big culvert. So a good place to have a little pond would be over there to catch water. And we'll get off the highway here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, right up here is the south side, the south end of your property, lot 122. That's going to go all the way down there, a tenth of a mile to where the van is. And it's going to go back 6/10 of a mile that direction right there, which we're going to take you for a walk and a hike right now. Then we're going to do some drone flying, and we're going to get off the highway right now before the truck and horse trailer hits us. Yo! Yo! There! All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now at the far end, up on top by the highway, the far end being the south end. But I wanted you to see the beautiful views from this area here. That's hardscrabble wash down there. You can see some rain clouds dropping some rain in that valley. Actually heading this way, kind of coming from the northwest. So we did get a little sprinkle on us. I also see people have been up here recently in the last year or two, and we're cutting in a bit of a easement road from that. And I see signs of artifacts, and I found a rock hammer, hand rock hammer, and you can see where that was used to chip stones, hammer stakes in the ground, because there's no rocks indigenous like this over here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, not only do you have the highway, there is the cattle guard, and you can see that's been a couple of years, but they have cut and have a road that comes up to the far end. You're going to have a road that runs all the way on the back, and the road we'll take here in a little bit goes all the way up the side. So super easy access. I mean, a full 40 acres thereabout, but 6/10 of a mile long. So it's a huge lot. And I see where they were driving, but this side of the road, when we go farther back to the east, the elevation gets up. Now we're at about 6,000 feet. So now you'll start seeing pinyon pines, and hopefully this will have some pinyon pines on it. Also, a lot more elk over this way, because 1 mile back, all the subdivisions in, and then it's state land and hunting land. This is a famous hunting area back here that people will pay up to $5,000 to have a chance to go hunt for an elk that crapped all over this place. So let's take a little bit of a walk. We'll zigzag around. Well, take a look at this. I see why some people have been coming up here, because they're going after this firewood that brings $250 a cord. They're taking all the big thick stuff, but they are leaving you a bunch of these long skinny ones that you can make fence out of and fence everybody out. So, and put up no trespassing signs, no wood cutting, no hunting. This will be your land to do whatever you want. Might have some commercial applications too, being on the highway. But yeah, they're taking some firewood out of here. All right, this lot has a lot of great terrain to it. Geographically speaking, you have many lots here. We have a nice flat knoll up here, great building location if you want to be up. There's a nice valley. There's another kind of a ridge that runs over there. a ridge that runs over there. So you have a valley coming down through here too. So if you want to be hid out, make you a wagon train of box cars or containers. I always wanted to make a horseshoe shape. So you had a little garden, and then I'd put one on top, and it'd be 2 or 3 stories tall. And we might see some container homes and little houses people have been building here off the grid. Juniper trees and cedar trees. I'm hoping to see some of the Pinyon pines, but we'll go down this little valley, then we'll go back to the car, fly the drone, then we'll drive you 6/10 of a mile and go to, your land goes as far as you can see. You see you have a valley, the land's going to go back up, and that's where the road's going to be, and that's where your land ends. Still more than a half a mile to the end of your land. Fantastic. There's some footprints, maybe a coyote. All right, so we're probably a 1/5 of the way in, and just brought you down to this little valley here. You probably have 10 little hidden valleys like this. I can hear a car going on the highway, but if you put your camp back here, you could have a house, fifth wheel, RV, whatever you want. No one even know you're here, because we are basically surrounded by a hill and a ridge and a hill there and trees. So too much of a lot to show you. We could spend all day and still not show you the whole lot. We'll take off back this way, go over that ridge, and then we'll come to the road. People have been bringing a lot of rock in here. I don't think I've ever even walked this whole 40 acres here. Why not have 80 acres? All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic lot. Like I said, this road, and people have been maintaining it, gravel. Behind you, there is 240 2.5 acre lots. You have a 40 acre lot. And they've named this road that runs behind your land 7298. So a quarter property. You also have another easement that you could put in that goes back to the west. So from this corner right here, basically, 528 feet back that direction, 3,200 feet, 3,275 feet, whatever it is, back to the road. And then all these, from this line on, are 40 acres to the highway. And I can see the Verizon tower right there. It's not 2 miles away. Great internet connection. Some highland. Like I said, I think we're going to have some of the genuine Pinyon pines. So let's go ahead. We'll walk to the other end and show you what it looks like down here. All right, folks. We've came on your other road. Now, this easement I'm walking on right now actually goes another 4 or 5 miles, and there's a couple gates you can come in. There's a network of roads here. And if you're into riding motorbikes, four-wheelers, any of that stuff, you have 20-some miles, 30 miles of all kinds of sightseeing to do on these roads. And these are here. No one can shut you out. And they've named this road too, N7015. But your land goes back on this side of this road here, 528 feet. We parked the minivan we're driving, the soccer mom van, got up here real easy. And then 6/10 of a mile back that way, 3275, whatever it is, 3,200 feet basically. Good firewood, fencing materials. A lot of people on these 2.5 acre lots have went and put fences and little cabins and hideaways. And you could be within 50 yards with all the trees, part of the evergreen forest. But anyhow, without any further ado, to some of your lot on this side. We got you really good drone footage. All right, folks, probably only in 100 feet on the lot, fairly fresh moose tracks, and that's moose poop on the ground, but a nice clearing, good native grasses. You could build here. There's probably 100, 200 places you could build on this lot here. There's a yucca, purple sage. Oh, and I'm looking for Pinyon pines. Ha! Right there. Look, I told you we get up around 6,000 feet elevation. Here is a fruit-bearing, a nut-bearing, beautiful Pinyon pine right here. So you have 500 Pinyon pines here. It's worth 10, 15 bucks a pound. And this is a gorgeous one. Come up close here, hon. All right, yeah, you can see these are Pinyon pine trees. Now I'm looking around, I'm seeing a lot more of them. We're probably a good 6,000 feet elevation. If you live in Phoenix, Tucson, 20 degrees cooler up here every day. So a lot of people in those areas, even from Houston, will come far away to get this fantastic, perfect summer weather. And probably August, this will be laden with thousands of nuts. These are money makers. The Indians, the locals will gather them up, harvest them. They sell them on the side of the road for $5 a pound. By the time they're in a grocery store, they're 15 to 30 bucks a pound. Pine nuts, Pinyon nuts. And that's a gorgeous one. Christmas tree for you there. There's another one. There's another one. Oh, that's a gorgeous one over there too. That's another reason the elk and the antelope are up here. Now on this lot, we're more on the south side, and there's a ridge that I was showing you very early in this presentation. So you have the valley over here, a ridge that's running kind of to the west. Very thick trees. We also have some mountain holly, maybe some manzanita in here too. People that do woodwork love this beautiful stuff here. Junipers, pinyons, cedar trees. It's an evergreen forest. Stays green all year round. Oh, there's probably a good $100,000 in firewood here, no problem too. Giant cedar trees, firewood, fencing material, wood stove. Now I'm coming down into a little valley here. Cedar, juniper, now a sandy spot. They had ran cattle in here for the last 10, 15 years. So if you get it fenced in, your grass will grow back. But yeah, now it looks deserty, sand patch here. Wow. If you don't like the way the land looks right here, walk for 2 or 3 minutes at a change. There's some fresh tracks over here. Here's another gorgeous pinyon tree. And when the rains start coming, any day, any week now, our monsoon season kicks in, and this place will bloom with millions of wildflowers. Yeah, quite a few pinyons up here. There's another fairly young pinyon pine right there. More cedars. Lots of firewood. Yeah, if you're young and strong and you're up here working, building a fence, you want to make some extra money, you live in Phoenix, every time you go back, take a cord or two of wood with you. They were getting $250 a cord in Phoenix this past winter. And they don't even hardly need it. Ron said they've had one rain about 10 days ago since the snow melted off. And that was 2 or 3 months ago. There's some mountain holly, junipers, cedars, more pinyon pines. Yeah, it is a true forest. So unusual too to have like the loamy sand, clay, dirt, and all kinds of trees. Be a good little spot here, easy to get into. 20-foot container there. Now let's put a 40-foot container there. Have 2 20-foot containers come this way, and then you'll have a little courtyard. Then put a 40-foot container to bridge on top. You have an upstairs, and then you'd have some balconies. We've been showing you this on television, ladies and gentlemen, since 2007, how you can live off the grid. Now I see all these shows, building Alaska, building tiny houses, building off the grid. Here's $1 million property for you, right here. That's a piece of pottery right there. Oh, look, it's even painted.
Oh, cool.
That's painted pottery and an Aussie. Oh, that's a scraper. A knife. And yeah, when you see that, we're on top of a mound, and you see the sandstone they would carry and build fire pits and places. So that's a sign when you start seeing this stuff that you might have artifacts. There's a big piece of pottery right there. On your land. See that one? This one was a cooking jar. Heat water, beans. That's a fire scale. That's fresh elk right there. All right, we're just finding some artifacts, and we're on a high point, which the natives, ancient people that lived here, would build semi-permanent camps or very temporary camps. But they would like to get on the high ground so they could see smoke signals from other camps or relatives, a clan, or the game or enemies. And this is one of the high points on the lot, and look at the views back to the south. Nothing but this evergreen forest. Now looking to the west, you could build right up here, and what a spectacular shot it would be. And with some of these hills, I always had the dream of taking a little tractor and excavating out, and then put me a 40-foot container in there and covering up about 30 foot of it. That would insulate it, keep it warm and cool, put a wood stove in it, but you'll have $1 million sunset right there. And probably about a half hour, but we'll probably be on the highway heading to western Arizona by the Nevada border and the Grand Canyon. All right, there's a great view for you folks. Let's go down this valley and see what we find and head back towards the car, our minivan. I see a Jeep trail, and they got some firewood bandits here, but they're still leaving a lot of good fencing material. But that just proves my point. How much money is sitting here just in firewood? And they make beautiful jewelry boxes out of the cedar stuff too. Line hope chest with, but they burn it up for firewood cooking, and they're just the best stuff. You see the little Jeep trail right over here, how they came in here. I'd get some no trespassing signs up, no firewood cutting, no hunting. Wow, that was a hike, and we still didn't even show you 10% of the land probably. I've been here a couple hours now, got to fly the drone. 7298, all the things are numbered now. A little over a half a mile, you're back on the highway on this nice gravel dirt road. We came up in our little soccer mom van, did just fine. So this is a good one. Kind of sad because we're probably retiring, and anyhow, don't miss this one. It is AA, AAA plus. We'll see you back at the studio, folks. Thanks for watching. And that is our final sign-off for Lot 122 here in Witchwell Ranches. $1 Million sunset.